Well, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. Hope you all are doing well. Today, I got an email from tailopez. I'm working on a lot of his projects and things that he has. And this one just really hit home. This is so perfect. He goes through and outlines what the 5 factors of success are that you need. And it actually came from a very successful scientist from the University of Pennsylvania, that the number one trait associated with actual success is consciousness. And having that consciousness will make all the difference in the world. You've got to be able to recognize, you've got to be able to see, you've got to be able to understand, you've got to be able to know how to react to so many things in great detail. Devil is in the detail, guys. I've said this before. If you can't figure out the detail, if you don't have that consciousness to understand what it takes from your mind and your attitudes, you'll crash and burn every time. I'm going to go through this email a little bit because it's so important, and he has got this, so precise. It just right down on the nuggets. But again, that attention to detail, you've got to be able to do this, or you'll crash and burn. It doesn't matter what you try to do. No matter what your dreams are, your goals, it doesn't matter. You'll never get there if you don't have the proper consciousness. Anyway, the 5 main factors that make up consciousness, and I've written them up here so you can write them down and just pay attention to what I'm saying about each one. The first one is perfectionism. And I know a lot of people say that, no, being perfect, all that is bad. But is it really? Because it's really not. I mean, to be able to pay attention to the detail is so important. I give an example of getting on an airplane. And, for example, the pilot in that plane, you want him to be someone of an engineer who pays attention to details while flying, every little aspect of it, every little bump or turbulence or every little signal on the dash of millions of tools? Or do you want someone who just says, I don't sweat the small stuff? I think I would want the man who pays attention to detail. I would want to crash and burn. So being perfect is not really such a bad thing. There's so much stuff in here that he has said I've got in front of me, and I want to make sure I, pretty much cover what he's saying. He even had one time where he was hiring an apprentice. He talks about it, and out of all the people, he had like 75 different people come to him. And outside, there was this hose that was tangled. And not one of them paid any attention to them, but one person. And he actually picked it up and untangled it. That would be me, because it would make me feel really weird. I wouldn't see that it's like so out of place, that I probably would have done the same thing. But again, it's that consciousness and that perfectionism, paying attention to detail, guys. It's so, so important. Another one is the organization. There's a lot of people who can't even sit still in a chair for 10 minutes. Well, you've got to be able to spend some time reading. You've got to be able to spend some time making a list for yourself of what to do each day. And granted, you won't always get that list completely done. I know I don't. But you take what you didn't get completed and you put it on to the next day. And you pay attention to that list. And you get done the details that you've put on that list. It's so very important. And why that's so hard for some people to do, I don't understand, because that's such a basic need. Something just happened to my video. I think we're still back. I think it almost ended. Anyway, so I was talking about paying attention to your list and being able to create one. So vital in your success. Diligence is the next one. And this is an important trait. And I love the example Ty gives. He says, for example, people who have a New Year's resolution. Well, by the end of the month, people have given up on it, and that's just crazy. You have a goal and, something you want to reach and want to do, be it a diet or new job or a car, whatever it is. If you just give up on it because you can't figure out what you need to do to get to that goal, that's paying attention to detail. You'll never get it. You'll never have success in anything that you do. So diligence, you can say, is that power to stay with it, no matter what, bar none. You hit a brick wall, you've got to be able to figure out, what did I do wrong? Why is this not working? Go back and check the details. What do you need to change? And all successful people have this ability, this consciousness, to be able to think clearly, figure things out. Fourth one is prudence. And that's the ability to make a good decision. Sum things up for what you've gone through. Take out the bad, put in the good, and make a decision on something that's solid. On here he gives an example that, people, they're saying they're always crashing and burning. They have no idea how to think through anything. And he says they should ask themselves, what would a smart person do? And that's kind of cool. Think about, well, say there's someone else in the room with you and they're really smart. Think to yourself, what possibly would he advise me to do? Start somewhere, even if you have to fantasize someone else there being you, trying to give you direction. And even if it's not the right direction, you'll find that out through your trials and tribulations, as long as you have the consciousness in order to be able to break things down and see the good and the bad and figure out what you need to fix. And then the last one is industriousness. That one is about the ability to work hard. And a lot of people say, well, working hard isn't always good. You need to work smarter. And that's not exactly right either. It's multifaceted. It's a little bit of each. Yes, you have to work hard, but are you working the smartest way you can within that hard work? Because there is a lot of work. Again, you have the consciousness to be able to break down the work you're doing to see if it's benefiting you, to you, so you can be the best you can be. Consciousness. It's a big thing. And in here, he said in his conclusion and whatnot of consciousness, it's being industriousness, perfectionism, organization, diligence, prudence. It's a multi-factor. But at some point, once you know what you're doing, you'll see the path. And that is so true, guys. These things are so very important. I have hit so many brick walls in my life. I mean, you name it, A to Z, practically. I've gone through some horrific things, many things in my life, many more than, the average Joe, or even some who have gone through some bad things. I can top them, I bet. But each one of those things I've grown from, I've understood, I've seen later down the road where it has given me better wisdom and understanding of not just that situation, but of people in general. And there's so many different people out there that it has enabled me to understand and be able to work with because of the details that I've learned from it all. The perfectionism and trying to not do that wrong thing again and understand how to do it right. The details, the consciousness of being able to tear all these things apart. Be diligent. Be organized. Have the prudence and industrialness to get that job done. And I'm sure all of you can too. I'd be more than happy to help any of you. And this is sort of the thing that we teach, through Branding You University. And there are so many courses in there you can take for nothing. You've got to just start somewhere. And if I can help any of you get started or help you to get through this path and understand these things, I'd love to. I'm a people person. I can work with a lot of people, and I'd love to help you too. So anyway, God bless for now, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye for now.